All right. Beaches are here.
Yes.
Hey. Today's a heck of a day because it's May 14th and the release of your latest record called Future Lovers. Now, for those who are seeing this from outside of the greater Toronto area, they may not know that you are named after the neighborhood that you grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, so what's your boundary of the beaches? Okay, my father grew up in the beaches and my grandmother lived down there. So I used to go down there all the time. I kind of grew up there on Ludi Avenue down south of Queen.
Oh, yeah.
And first off, my father always called it the beach. He said, no, it's not the beaches, it's the beach. And if it's north of Queen, it's not the beach. So let's find out. Are you north or south of Queen? Or where?
We both are south of Queen.
I think actually we are technically not part of the like officially, because the beaches I think officially start at Woodbine, I believe. Like that's the as far west as it goes, and we're
don't give your address.
We're slightly west of that area, but like the beach is a 5-minute walk from our house. So I'm still counting it. And then the beach versus beaches thing is definitely like a generational thing. Like I'll find older folks will call it the beach, and people our age will call it the beaches.
My family is also longtime beachers. I'm curious if my family knows your family. Do you know any McDaniels by any chance, or does your family know?
You know what? My father has passed away, but my uncle Harry is still around. That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. But my uncle Harry is still around, and I'm going to ask him.
Okay, because my grandmother was kind of a neighborhood staple, not to brag, but everyone knew my grandmother.
Okay, that's great. That's really cool. Now, did you guys all meet up at school?
Yes, we did. That's how we met up. Yeah.
That's great. So which school did you go to? Did you go to Williamson Road?
No.
We went to Q Beach Public School.
Beachers. We're like the real.
Okay.
And then we went to Glen Ames Middle School.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you go to Malvern?
No.
After that. We're Rosedale girls.
We did Rosedale. Yeah, and that's where we met Leandra, in Rosedale. And
nice.
We were a different band at the time. We were our Disney formation, Done with Dolls, and Leandra actually like knew the band, and she had been to a few of our shows, and we had an opening in the group, and she was kind of the first person that we wanted to call, and it worked out really great. So.
I was stoked that they let a non-beach into their beaches squad, because I'm in the West End.
a Christie girl.
So was it always an idea to have an all-girl band?
I don't think we ever it wasn't like our intention to create the band that way, but once Megan, the other girl that was in Done with Dolls, wanted to quit the band, we decided to keep it an all-girl project, because I don't know, we just found that we worked really well with women, I guess, or yeah.
Is it a little bit tougher to find a woman who meets the criteria?
I think so.
I think that's
I met it all, so I'm the perfect woman, one might say.
That's I think that's an assumption, but if you go to like any music school or you'll find a bunch of us intermingled.
Yeah. Well, this is really funny because I'm sitting here and I'm smiling and you guys are all terrific. Most of you are in different rooms and stuff like that, but I can feel the chemistry and I can feel the vibe coming off of you, and it's really nice. So this is really cool. And just I don't want to date myself, but you guys went to Q Beach Public School. I remember when they were building Q Beach Public School. Is it still open even?
Yeah.
It is.
Trying to expand.
They've done some renovations and stuff. They added another floor.
There's too many kids that are they don't have enough room and space there now, because people move to the beaches now just for the schools. It's wild.
Let's talk other famous people from the beaches. Norman Jewison.
Yeah. Wait, he's from the beaches?
Who is that?
You didn't know?
I didn't know that. I'm gonna flex that from now on. That's crazy. He directed a Superstar. One of my favorite movies. The director. The other group that's from the beaches is Down with Webster.
They broke up.
And they're not a band anymore, but they were coming up and were living in the beaches when we were in middle school, and we used to see them, and we were so excited whenever we saw them. We fangirled pretty hard. Yeah.
Dan Hill lives in the beach.
Who is that?
Cool.
No, did I get a who's that?
Yeah, who's that?
Dan Hill.
No, sorry, who is that though?
Dan Hill, you know what? He was a really popular singer-songwriter in the 70s. He was known for the song Sometimes When We Touch.
Okay.
As in like sometimes when we touch.
Yeah, sometimes
There you
when we
go.
brunch, I like to call it.
Whoa.
Education.
Who knew?
I'm gonna be walking down Queen Street East just singing that.
And the world famous pianist, the late Glenn Gould.
I did know
Also-
that.
I knew
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
know that, guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wear his shirt to bed.
I know. I was thinking it's your bed shirt.
My father actually went to school with him and said that he was different. And I guess in this day and age, we might have a better understanding of all of that, but he certainly was remarkable. Anyhow, enough with the small talk. Let's talk Future Lovers, the brand new record. Produced by Garrett Jackknife Lee. You have a bit of a history with him, do you not?
Yeah.
Yes, we've been working with him for years. He was one of the first people when we would go to Los Angeles to co-write. Before, when we were really just starting to develop our sound, he was one of the first people that we worked with, and we wrote "Give It Up" with him. He's written "Money," "Gold" with us. And so when we were deciding on who was going to do our sophomore project, we all sort of unanimously were like, it's got to be Jackknife. Yeah.
Now, as a producer and also a co-writer on some of this, how does that change the dynamic between the four of you and him, bringing him into the soup?
Well,
It's hard-
he's a very collaborative person. So, every time we go into the studio with him, he's basically, we're all kind of on the same level. Like there really isn't like any ego or anything like that involved. And it's really nice to be able to bounce ideas off of him and with him
And build a
it's-
song together.
Yeah, it's
And-
also great when we write something and he doesn't want to change it. It makes you feel really good about what you come up with and your abilities as a writer.
because we had done so many songwriting sessions in Los Angeles, we were used to working with a producer in that sort of way, like having, building a song together. That was sort of what we were used to. The only people that never really did that with us were Emily and Jimmy with our first album. They really acted mostly as producers. I think we co-wrote maybe one song with them, but so it was kind of nice to go back to the collaborative sort of thing with Jackknife, because it is such like a exhilarating experience creating a song in a day.
Now, you talk about writing sessions in Los Angeles. I'd like to kind of know what the setting is like. You get on a plane, you fly far, far away to write. What kind of planning, what kind of setting, how does that come about when it's time to get to work?
It's absolutely a wild experience. You basically are encouraged not to go in with finished songs because you are, going to write a song with a person, and
They
you-
want to cut too.
they want to cut, right? Because that's how they make their money, is by, potentially writing a hit song and then, it's just like, that's
when we
the
first
way.
got signed, that's what we were signed to a pop label in the States, and that's kind of how they introduced us to the whole industry. And it was a really kind of interesting experience, being able to like bounce back and forth between all these different producers and like living on our own at this like really strange, outdated apartment complex, kind of having freedom for the first time. Yeah, it definitely shifted our entire mindset on like writing, and also, helped us grow up and grow together as a band. It's an experience we're really grateful for, but obviously I don't think that we
We
want
don't
to do
have
that
to go.
again.
Yeah, it was something that we did when we were still developing, but we're developed now.
Fully developed, mature
Fully
young women.
Yeah.
Adam, could you go grab?
Yeah, this
me-
business makes you, demands that you grow up kind of quickly, doesn't it? Especially when you're away from mom and dad and on your own and in crazy places like Los Angeles. How do you like the city?
Of LA or Toronto?
Los Angeles.
I think we all have like different opinions on it. I like it.
I love
Yeah.
it.
I think I like it in small doses. I think after a week I've hit my max. I think I need to leave.
I think with all the traffic and trying to get around there, I'm used to being like a Toronto TTC kind of gal, and you can't
Yeah.
really get around that way there. And even if
Yeah.
you have a car, you're stuck on the highway for hours. So I would not be able to handle that.
Do you know, as notorious as Los Angeles is for traffic snags, Toronto is is as bad or even worse
I
when
don't
you
know.
measure traffic problems in North America?
But Los Angeles is just built really dumb. And that like everything's connected by freeways. Like in Toronto, you can, the downtown and the areas are like, it's linear, right? And Los Angeles is different in that every area is split up by a highway. So it's like just the worst built city ever. Like whoever did that was a moron. But
Yeah, and public transit is basically non-existent, at least in Toronto. We've got the TTC, but if you have to go a long way on the TTC from the east to west, and let's say Scarborough out to Islington or something like that, you know, you're talking an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes on a good day. The new record is, to me, it's about the complexity of relationships, all relationships, and autobiographical. Am I getting some of that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure.
I'm sorry I'm eating you guys. I'm so hungry. It's absolutely about that. I mean, you write about what you know, and I think the last couple of years have been like a really big growing experience for us. You know, all the songs that we wrote on Late Show were written kind of really 10 years or 6 years. Like it's songs that we've sort of had for a really long time, and we've done a lot of growing since then. So you can definitely see that those sort of that growth in the lyrics and in the sounds that are in this new EP.
Yeah, the relationships have changed. Some have matured, some have disappeared, but we'll always be party girls at heart.
But never,
Some things may
That
change.
That was a great way to summarize our
Never
album.
change.
Have you guys been vaccinated yet?
3 of us have.
3 out of 4. Yep.
Are you fully vaccinated or just the first shot?
First shot.
Just
First shot. Yeah,
I
we're
think
at,
you have to wait like 8 weeks or something, more like
like
that.
16
Yeah.
or something.
They give you a date when they
My
give you the
next one's
shot.
in August.
Same.
Yeah, I got mine 3 weeks ago as well, so I don't go back until the first week of August. But the supply now is increasing quite dramatically, so there's a possibility that we're going to get those goalposts narrowed so we can get out of this faster. A really weird time for you guys to put out a new record, and it's 5 songs, and the I think it's arguable that the album format as an art form may have run its course a long time ago. Here you have 5 songs. Did you go in thinking you wanted to make it shorter and sweeter? Or did you just want to get something out there now and this is what you had ready?
Well, the Professional and Future Lovers are sort of meant to be seen as like, you know, not maybe the same project, but sisters of each other. So with the plan being eventually to, when we, you know, put out vinyl, for those two to be like 2 sides of the vinyl. And we did talk about it because we're all, you know, rock musicians and love albums, but they really don't make sense in a streaming world. Like to put out that much music, the albums have, any music you put out has such a short lifespan. So it makes more sense to maybe create a full project and separate it so that you can have more music coming out more often.
Yeah, and fans nowadays with digital distribution and everything, they have so much more choice in the ways that they can consume things. So the idea of listening to a whole album from front to back isn't like dropping the needle in the old days when that's all we had was a needle and a turntable. So now everything's sitting on our phones and we can call up anything on demand. So it's quite different nowadays. I think this album is loaded with singles. I think it's going to have a lot of legs. Do you have a favorite song? I think I like Bad Behavior and Slow Mo the best.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I think, I don't know, we definitely love all the songs, but definitely on a big blow up high today because the video dropped. So I'm gonna go with that one today.
Yeah, same. I heard it on the radio twice already today. It just sounds so good blasting it in the car.
Isn't it great hearing stuff on the radio? I mean, it's wonderful to hear something off of a device on a Bluetooth or something like that, but there's nothing that beats hearing a song on the radio with the top down, and especially on a day like today in Toronto. We're finally in the midst of warm weather. There's not a cloud in the sky. You can pull the top down, open up the windows, go out for a drive. I mean, there's something so romantic about a song on the radio.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
a different experience because I didn't choose to play it. It just came on randomly, and you're like in the moment, and it's so
Yeah.
surreal.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So what are the plans for the next couple of months? Obviously, there are some things on hold, but things are starting to open up a little bit in Europe. Where are you going to go from here today, or
Well,
in the next
It's
while?
impossible to say, right? Like, you
Yeah.
wanna-
Oh no. Well, we're hoping to like obviously, promote every one of these songs and have them all like exist and do some more art, do some videos for a couple more of the singles, and then we want to get back in the studio and back on the road as soon as possible. So those are
Okay.
goals.
Yeah, yeah. So this gives you an opportunity to work still, kind
Yeah.
of isolate yourself and really hunker down. One more thing, the Go-Go's and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Big
Yes.
deal. Yeah.
So happy.
So happy for them. Oh my God.
Yeah.
About time.
Yeah, it's pretty diverse lineup this year as well. You got Jay-Z, you've got Carole King, who
Mhm.
I'm surprised wasn't in there decades ago.
I thought she
Um,
was already in. I thought this was like her second inductee. Is that the word?
Can there be 2 times?
I don't know. Like
So-
I saw on Instagram that it's her second time. Maybe it was her and her writing partner, and
That's
now it's
how it
just
works.
her.
If you're
Oh,
you're part of a group, so I think Paul McCartney's has a solo one, and he also has one with the Beatles, right?
yeah,
So
and Neil Young, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young,
they all have-
and Tina Turner's in this year, and she was nominated a number of years ago for her work with her husband Ike.
yeah.
Ike and Tina Turner review. So, okay then. So, what are your plans after you finish your fries there?
That's my next.
I'm gonna go see our after Jordan's fries. I'm gonna go see our billboard down at Young and Dundas Square. That'll be cool. We're on
That will be exciting. Good for you. All right. Beaches, so nice to see all of you. And it's kind of difficult on a Zoom screen with everybody in a different spot. And you guys made it really easy. And I thank you. And I hope we can hang in person sometime really soon. Best wishes to everybody.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
and-
thanks so much for the chatting.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Thank you.